there, friends! Wow, it feels like it has been way too long since we last chatted like this. I hope you are all doing fantastic, wherever you are in the world right now. A huge warm welcome to Learning English Studio. I'm Amelia, and I've got a massive smile on my face because I love this time of the week where we just get to hang out and talk about language.
Hi, Amelia. Hi, everyone. It is so good to be back with you. I was just telling Amelia before we hit record, I really look forward to these sessions. It's the highlight of my day, honestly.
Aw, thank you, James. That is so sweet. I feel the exact same way. It's like catching up with old friends, you know? We sit down, we have a virtual coffee, and we just explore this crazy, beautiful language called English.
Exactly. And today, we have a topic that I think is going to be a total game changer for so many of our listeners. I mean, I get messages about this all the time. People asking, James, how do I remember words? I learn them and then whoosh, they disappear.
Oh, absolutely. The disappearing vocabulary act. It's the most frustrating thing ever, right? You study a list of 10 words in the morning, and by the afternoon, you can only remember one. And it's usually the easiest one, like book or table.
Yes, exactly. You remember table, but you forget complicated or environment. It's like our brains have a filter that just lets the easy stuff stay and throws the hard stuff away.
So today, we are going to fix that. We are going to dive into some simple, really effective tricks to remember English words. And we're even going to talk about that mysterious concept of sleep learning. Can you actually learn while you snooze? We're going to find out.
I love it. This is going to be fun. But before we get into all the magic tricks for your brain, I just want to say a quick thank you to our community. You guys are amazing. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on these chats. And if you like what we do, a simple like or a share really helps us keep the lights on.
Yes, please do share. Share it with your classmates, your friends, your family. Let's spread the English love. Okay, James, I'm ready. Let's talk about memory. Why is it so hard to remember new words sometimes?
Well, let's think about it for a second. Imagine your brain is like a big, messy room. If I just throw a sock into the room, just one sock, it's going to get lost in the mess, right? You won't find it later.
That is a great analogy. A sock in a messy room. So the word is the sock.
Right, the word is the sock. If you just look at a word in a dictionary and close it, you are essentially throwing that sock into the room. You haven't given it a place to live. You haven't put it in a drawer or hung it up, so it disappears.
So the trick is to organize the room, to give the word a home.
Exactly. And one of the best ways to do that is through something called context. A lot of students learn words in isolation. You know, just a list. Apple, car, run. But our brains love stories. Our brains love connections.
That makes sense. I remember when I was learning, well, let's say I was learning to cook. I couldn't just remember the names of all the spices, but when I cooked a specific dish, like a curry, I remembered the spices that went into that dish. They were connected to the experience.
Yes, that's a perfect real-life example. You didn't memorize cumin and turmeric from a list. You remembered them because they were part of making the curry smell and taste good. So trick number 1 is don't learn words alone. Learn them in sentences.
Okay, so instead of writing down the word reluctant, I should write a whole sentence. Like, he was reluctant to go to the party because he was tired.
Bingo! Now your brain has a picture. You can imagine a tired guy maybe rubbing his eyes, not wanting to go out. The word reluctant is now attached to that image and that feeling. It's not just a sound anymore. It's a scene in a movie.
That is so much more powerful. It's like turning a black and white text into a 3D movie in your head. I love that.
And here is another trick that sounds silly, but it works like magic. It's called the keyword method, or using mnemonics.
Ooh, mnemonics. I remember using these for history dates in school. How does it work for English words?
Okay, let's pick a hard word. Let's take the word inevitable. It means something that is sure to happen, unavoidable.
Inevitable. It's a bit of a mouthful.
It is. So what we do is we break it down. We take the part that sounds like a word we already know. Inevitable sounds like a bit like in, and evitable, well, evitable sounds like evitable. But maybe we can hear table in there?
Yeah, inevitable.
So here is the trick. Imagine a table, and on the table there is a cake. The cake is falling off the table. Gravity is pulling it. It is inevitable that the cake will hit the floor. You can try to catch it, but it's inevitable. In the table, the cake falls.
I am never going to forget the word inevitable now. Every time I see a cake on a table, I'm going to think, uh-oh, that's inevitable.
See? It's funny, it's visual, and it's weird. Our brains actually remember weird things better than normal things. If I told you a story about a normal man sitting on a chair, you'd forget it. If I told you a story about a purple elephant dancing on a chair, you'd remember it forever.
That is so true. We love the unusual. So we can make up little funny stories or sound connections for the hardest words. That sounds like a fun afternoon activity, actually, just sitting around making up silly connections.
It really is, and it brings joy to the learning process, which is important. If you are laughing, you are relaxed, and if you are relaxed, your brain learns better. Stress kills memory.
Oh, that's such a wise truth, James. Stress kills memory. We should put that on a t-shirt. So relax, make jokes, and visualize silly scenes. Got it.
Exactly. Now, let's move on to something a bit more technical but super fascinating. Do you know what spaced repetition is?
I've heard the term before. Is it about reviewing words at specific times?
Yes. So imagine you learn a new word today. If you review it tomorrow, you remember it. But if you don't look at it for a week, you might lose it. Spaced repetition is about timing your reviews right before you forget the word.
Ah, so it's like catching the word just as it's about to fall out of your brain?
That is a perfect way to describe it. You review it after 1 day, then 3 days, then 1 week, then 1 month. Each time you review it, the memory gets stronger. It's like building a muscle. You don't lift a heavy weight once and get big muscles. You lift it over and over again, with rest in between.
I like that, the brain muscle. So you don't have to study for 5 hours in 1 day. It's better to study for 10 minutes, 5 days in a row.
Exactly. Little and often is the secret sauce of language learning. Consistency beats intensity every time.
That is such a relief to hear, because most of us don't have 5 hours a day, but we all have 10 minutes while we're waiting for the bus or drinking our morning coffee.
Right. Use those dead times, waiting in line, waiting for the kettle to boil, sitting on the bus. Those moments are gold mines for learning.
Okay, so we have learn in sentences, use funny visual associations, and use spaced repetition. Those are 3 solid tools. But James, today's topic also mentions sleep learning. I have to ask, is that real? Can I put a textbook under my pillow and wake up speaking English?
I wish. If that worked, I would have slept on a dictionary years ago and I'd be walking around talking like Shakespeare. Unfortunately, just putting the book under your pillow doesn't work. That is a myth.
Dang it, I was hoping for a lazy solution.
Well, there is some good news. While you can't learn new complex information while you are asleep without studying it first, sleep is absolutely critical for saving what you learn during the day.
Oh, really? So the learning happens while I'm awake, but the saving happens while I'm asleep.
Yes, think of it like a computer. During the day, you're downloading files, new words, grammar rules, sounds, but those files are just sitting in a temporary folder. They're messy. When you sleep, your brain does the defrag. It organizes those files. It moves them from short-term memory to long-term storage.
Wow, so if I study hard and then stay up all night partying, I'm basically canceling the save button?
You are deleting the file. If you don't sleep, the memory doesn't consolidate. It just fades away. So the best study hack in the world is actually a good night's sleep.
That is amazing advice, and honestly, it's much easier to do than staring at a book until your eyes hurt. So study a bit in the evening, maybe review those words one last time, and then trust your brain to do the work while you dream.
Precisely. And there is a little trick you can do right before bed. It's called the bedtime review.
Ooh, tell me about the bedtime review.
Okay, so you're in bed, lights are low, you're relaxed. Don't look at your phone or your computer. The blue light is bad for sleep. Just think back over your day. Pick 3 or 4 new words you learned.
Just 3 or 4?
Yep, just a few. Say them in a sentence. Visualize them. Maybe tell yourself a little story using them. Today, I learned the word reluctant. I was reluctant to finish my work. Just let that float in your mind.
And then what?
Then you go to sleep. Your brain, being the amazing machine it is, will likely process those words during the night because you activated them right before you drifted off. It's like giving your brain a specific task to do while you sleep.
That sounds so peaceful. I'm going to try that tonight. It feels much more gentle than forcing yourself to memorize lists.
It does. Learning should be gentle, not a fight. We're often taught that learning is hard work, sweat, and tears. But really, the best learning happens when we are curious, relaxed, and well-rested.
That is a beautiful way to look at it. Curious, relaxed, and well-rested. I think that should be the motto of Learning English Studio.
I agree. And you know, another thing that helps with memory is emotion. We remember things that make us feel something.
Oh, that's true. I remember exactly where I was when I heard my favorite song for the first time, or when I ate the best ice cream of my life, but I can't remember what I had for lunch last Tuesday because it was just lunch.
Right. So if you're trying to remember a word, try to attach an emotion to it. For example, the word ecstatic. Don't just say it means very happy. Remember a time when you were ecstatic. Maybe you won a competition or you saw a loved one for a long time.
So feel the word.
Yes, when you say ecstatic, smile. Actually physically smile. Your body and your brain are connected. If you smile, your brain thinks, oh, something good is happening, and it locks that memory in tighter.
That I love. So act it out a little bit. If the word is frustrated, frown a little. If the word is surprised, open your eyes wide.
Exactly. It might feel silly sitting in your room making faces at the wall, but who cares? It works.
Yes, who cares what the wall thinks? The wall is a very supportive listener.
The wall is a very supportive listener.
Let's talk a bit about listening too, because this is a podcast. Listening is such a huge part of remembering words, isn't it?
It is huge. You see, reading gives you the spelling and the visual form of the word, but listening gives you the music of the word, the rhythm, the stress, the pronunciation. If you only read a word, you might recognize it on paper, but you won't understand it when someone says it quickly in a conversation.
That happens to me all the time with other languages. I see a word and I think, oh, I know that. But then I hear it and I'm like, wait, what was that?
Exactly. So to remember a word deeply, you need to meet it in two worlds, the visual world and the audio world. Podcasts like this one, movies, songs, these are great because you hear the words in context with the emotion and the rhythm.
And music is so sticky, isn't it? I still remember lyrics from songs I listened to 10 years ago. I can't remember math formulas, but I remember every word of my favorite songs.
That is the power of melody and rhythm. It engages a different part of the brain. If there's a difficult word you want to remember, try to find a song that uses it, or make up a little silly rhyme.
A little rap?
Sure, why not? I was reluctant, but I went, now I'm in a tent. Okay, that's a terrible rap, but you get the idea.
It's not that bad. It rhymes, and I think I will remember reluctant and tent forever now.
See? Even bad jokes work. Humor and rhythm glue the words to your brain.
So we have covered so much today. We have visualization, funny stories, spaced repetition, sleep, emotions, acting out, and music. Is there anything else? Maybe a final secret weapon?
A final secret weapon. I think the ultimate weapon is usage.
Using the words?
Yes, it is the difference between being a spectator and a player. You can watch football for years, but you won't really understand it until you get on the field and kick the ball. It's the same with words. You have to use them to own them.
That makes sense. But a lot of students are shy. They're afraid to use new words because they might make a mistake.
Ah, the fear of mistakes. That is the biggest wall. But here's the truth. If you use a new word and you make a mistake, you will actually remember it better because of the mistake.
Really?
Yes. Let's say you try to use the word environment, but you say environmental by accident, and your friend corrects you. You might feel a little embarrassed for a second, but your brain will go, alert, alert, I got that wrong, and it will highlight the correct pronunciation in red. You will never forget it after that.
That is such a positive way to look at mistakes. They are just highlights in your brain.
Exactly. So find a speaking partner. Talk to yourself in the shower. Seriously, the shower is a great place to practice because the acoustics are nice and no one can hear you.
Yes, the bathroom concert. I talk to myself in the mirror sometimes. It's great practice.
It is. Or write a short diary entry using 3 new words. Just force yourself to use them in a real context. Once you have used a word successfully, it changes from being a stranger to being a friend.
Aw, vocabulary friends. I like that. We want to collect friends, not just data points.
Perfectly said, Amelia. Collect friends.
You know, James, I feel like I could talk about this for hours. Memory is such a deep and fascinating subject, but we are getting close to wrapping up. Before we go, I want to circle back to the sleep idea one more time because I find it so comforting.
Sure.
I think a lot of our listeners are students who are stressed, maybe studying late into the night. What would you say to them right now?
I would say, close the book.
Just close it?
Yes. If it's late, close it. Your brain is full. You need to let the cement dry. If you keep piling bricks on wet cement, the wall falls down. Go to sleep. Trust that you have done enough for today. Tomorrow is a new day with fresh energy.
That is such kind advice. We need to be kind to ourselves. Learning is a marathon, not a sprint. You don't win a marathon by sprinting the first mile and then collapsing. You win it by keeping a steady pace.
Beautiful analogy. And remember, English is not a race. There is no finish line. It's a journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the words.
Yes, enjoy discovering new ways to express yourself. Every new word is a new color to paint your thoughts with.
Ooh, I like that. A new color. Today I am feeling turquoise.
Exactly. Today I am feeling sunshine yellow.
This is why I love doing this with you, Amelia. We always end up smiling.
Me too, James. Well, we have one last section of the show, and it is my favorite because it involves you guys, our listeners. We want to hear from you.
Yes, please. We know you're out there. Don't be shy.
So for today's interaction, we have a fun little challenge. We talked about making up funny sentences to remember words, so we want you to try it.
Here is the mission. Pick one English word that you always forget. Just one. It can be a long word, a strange word, any word. And make up a crazy, funny sentence for it using the mnemonic trick or just a silly story.
Yes, for example, if the word is delicious, maybe you write, "The delicious dinosaur danced on the desk." It makes no sense, but you will remember it.
The delicious dinosaur. I love it. So write your funny sentence in the comments below. We want to read them. I promise we will read as many as we can.
And if you can, try to explain the connection. Like, I remember delicious because of the dinosaur. Or maybe you have a different trick. Maybe you have a song that helps you. Tell us about it.
And don't forget, if you like this episode, please give it a like. It really makes us smile when we see those numbers go up. And subscribe to Learning English Studio so you can join us for the next chat.
We have so many more topics to cover with you. And if you have a topic you want us to talk about, maybe a grammar point that confuses you, or a situation you don't know how to handle in English, let us know in the comments.
Yes, this is your studio too. We are here to help you.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. I hope you feel a little more relaxed about learning vocabulary. Remember, be gentle with yourself, sleep well, and make your learning fun.
And remember, every word you learn is a friend you haven't met yet. Go out there and make some friends.
I love that. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful day, a great night's sleep, and happy learning. Bye for now.
Bye. See you next time. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.